When did your family realize you weren't stupid? Growing up, my whole family thought I was the dumb one. My older brother Jake got straight A's, my sister Lisa was in all the advanced classes, and then there was me, barely passing with C's and D's. My dad would always say stuff like, well, at least you're good with your hands. That was his nice way of saying I wasn't smart enough for college. My mom tried to be supportive, but I could tell she was disappointed every time report cards came out. Teachers would have conferences with my parents and I'd hear them say things like, he's just not applying himself, or maybe he's better suited for vocational training. By high school, everyone just accepted that I was the kid who wasn't going anywhere. I graduated and started working at my uncle's auto shop. My family acted like that was the best I could do. My brother went off to law school, my sister got into medical school, and I was the mechanic. At family dinners, they'd talk about Jake's cases and Lisa's rotations. When they asked about my life, it was always quick. How's the shop? That's nice. Then right back to talking about my siblings. Here's the thing though, I wasn't stupid. I just couldn't focus on stuff that didn't interest me. But cars? I understood cars better than anyone. I spent every free minute learning about engines, transmissions, electrical systems. I watched videos, read manuals, took things apart, and put them back together. Within 2 years, I was the best mechanic at my uncle's shop. Customers would specifically ask for me. I could diagnose problems just by listening to an engine. My uncle even wanted to make me a partner, but I had a different plan. I'd been saving money and learning about business. Last year, I opened my own shop. I know that doesn't sound impressive compared to a lawyer and a doctor, but here's where it gets interesting. 3 months after I opened, my brother Jake called me. He said his car was making a weird noise and his regular mechanic wanted to charge him $2,000 for a new transmission. I told him to bring it by. Took me 20 minutes to figure out it was just a loose heat shield, $50 fix. Jake was shocked. He asked how I knew that and I explained the whole diagnostic process. He just stared at me and said, I had no idea you knew all this stuff. A few weeks later, my sister's car broke down on the highway. She called me panicking. I drove out there, looked under the hood, and saw her serpentine belt had snapped. I had a spare in my truck, fixed it right there on the side of the road in 15 minutes. She gave me a hug and said, you just saved me hundreds of dollars. Thank you so much. That's when I think it started clicking for them. Then came Thanksgiving last year. My whole family was at my parents' house. My dad started talking about how his truck was having issues and the dealership quoted him $3,000 for repairs. I asked him what was wrong. He described the symptoms and I told him it sounded like a bad catalytic converter. I said I could fix it for about 600 in parts. My brother looked at my dad and said, why are you even questioning this? He knows what he's doing. My dad actually listened. Brought the truck to my shop the next day. I fixed it in a few hours, saved him over $2,000. When he came to pick it up, he walked around my shop looking at everything. All the equipment, the organized tools, the customer cars waiting for service. He asked how business was going. I told him I'd made more profit in my first year than I expected to make in 3. I had regular customers, 5-star reviews online, and I was already thinking about hiring another mechanic. My dad got quiet for a minute, then he said, I'm sorry I never saw this in you. I always thought you needed to go to college to be successful. You proved me wrong. That was the first time he ever apologized to me for anything. Now when we have family dinners, they actually ask about my work. They want to know about the business, about interesting repairs I've done. My mom brings her friends' cars to me. My brother sends all his lawyer buddies to my shop. Last month, my sister told someone at a party that her brother owns the best auto shop in town. I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, but I built something I'm proud of, and my family finally gets that being smart looks different for different people.